So hopefully we are online.
Yeah, we are. And I lost my pencil.
All right, okay. So good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Royal Club. Thank you for joining us from around the world. And we want to give a shout out to everyone, but we can't do it because too many people. But anyway, a shout out to the US, Europe, and all the other continents. Pakistan, Burundi, and all the other wonderful places that are already said that they are already watching us, and the rest can just tell us later on. So we would know. But anyway, since we are talking to leaders, that's why I want to make sure that we are going to talk about something that will be helpful for leaders. And with that, and if you look at our internet problems, you have no idea the lengths we went to bring you this message, but our priority is that you will be well equipped wherever you are. And these are the things that you can always be able to use in your leadership wherever you are, in whichever country, because people are people wherever we are, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So people usually have the same needs. They want to be seen, they want to be understood, they want to be feeling that they have a purpose in life. So, and that's what we are all about. I made so many notes. Okay, let's start here. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so I'm back. Okay, so leaders. Now, first of all, what is a leader? What is leader? Can be kind of a point, because everybody seems to want to be a leader, but it doesn't mean that they were all called to be in the exact same position. To some degree and to some extent, each of us are leaders. If you are the head of your family, then you're of course a leader. If you are, running your own business, then of course you are a leader. If you are, you guys just shared with me just before we started recording that, or went online, that you guys have started a Bible study. So of course you are leader of that Bible study as well. So I think everybody has to say to themselves that, we are not followers, we are all leaders, because a lot of people like to follow more than they like to lead, because of course following doesn't really involve too much responsibility, right?
Yes.
But God wants us to be grown-ups at some point. So if you're only finding yourself being a follower, maybe you need to be coming to a greater maturity in your life. But anyway, so at the same time, let's just discuss what is leader. I'm opening.
Okay.
This is interactive.
Okay.
That's the good thing about the club. We are chatting and we are learning at the same time. Yeah. So what is leader? How can we kind of put it into some kind of a frame? What is a leader?
I think a leader is setting an example.
That's very much a part of it. Thank you, Alexander.
Yes, a leader sets an example, and I think a leader will set lines how to make
guidelines, right?
Yes, right.
Guidelines.
Anything else that comes to mind?
And a leader take care of the people who is under his or her responsibility. And take care of them. It's not that we are, as leader, babysit people, but we take care of them. We will see how they grow, how they behave, how they learn, so to say. That they become.
Anything else comes to mind? Go ahead.
A leader is easy to follow. So people recognize the person as someone you want to follow. That
I
has to
like
do.
that you mentioned that because we are going to dwell on that very much.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that has to do with example, of course, but being example to be followed by other people. They want to follow you. That is very much.
So of course there's a lot we can say about leader, but you basically defined it in a different way, each of you. And that also shows the difference how a woman views a leader versus how a man views a leader.
Yeah.
But since there is no male or female in Christ,
Mhm.
we will use
Amen.
to give you one angle.
Not
But
in
everybody,
Christ.
yeah, everybody can just add their own personal touch to it and their personal experience to it. But this is ours for now. This is mine for now. So a leader, first of all, is not what you do. Leader is who you are.
Yeah.
So when you look at it this way, then of course it's a much more all-encompassing word than just, okay, a leader does this, a leader does that, a leader leads. No, the leader is who you are. Now, I want to give you a mental picture. Imagine, let's see. Okay, let's see how I'm going to set it up. So if you look at yourself, or if you view yourself, do you view yourself as a leader? Are you a leader?
I am, yes.
Yes.
How can you tell?
Because I see others following me.
Okay. Now, why do they follow you?
Because they experience the love that I have.
So just because you are full of love, people are going to follow you?
Part of, but also that I am, that's what I said, an example in how I follow Jesus in this
Just
case.
because you follow Jesus, people are going to follow you?
No, no, because
What I'm saying,
everybody,
I'm trying
that's
to
true, that's
guide
true.
you to a certain direction.
Mhm.
I think it is the way that I do it, the way that it has also to do with my personality. I think that I'm
Can I just
attracting people.
let me help you, because otherwise we are going to be here for 2 more weeks. Let me try to help you. Right now, what I'm saying, it applies to Christians and non-Christians. So don't think predominantly Christian. Don't think Christian. Just think as a leader.
Yeah.
Why do people follow a leader? Why do people follow you? And how can you tell that they follow you?
Okay. Yeah.
Alexander?
Well, I think when they follow me, and they do, someone follow me, they trust me.
So that's very good. So a leader must be trustworthy.
Yeah.
Definitely, a leader must be trustworthy. Good. So, and we can also see it in a way that when people find out, let's say somebody is following a leader and that leader turns to be untrustworthy, then of course the person will not follow that leader anymore.
No, true.
Right? Because trust has been broken. Even though maybe that's a leader, but nevertheless, a leader that is not trustworthy, people will not follow. See, a leader can have all these wonderful qualifications, but if one aspect, I mean, it's a very, very important aspect, is not all right, and people realize it, they will stop following that person, right?
Yeah.
So you can have all the other qualifications, but if you lack this very one, that you are trustworthy, people are going to abandon you. So that's very important. Integrity is important. Okay, so let me just, because we have a lot to discuss. So let
Okay.
me give you this. Now that I kind of segued into what I wanted to talk about and how I'm going to approach it, because it's a vast subject, how to be a good leader, and everybody has their own personal experiences, and also it has to do with, to somewhat with culture. But let's just say that you are put into a country where nobody knows you. They don't know that you're Christian. So forget about being a Christian and all. You're just you. You don't speak the language and nobody understands your language. Will they still follow you?
Whoa.
You see? If you are a leader, they will still
Yes.
follow you. Even though if you don't speak the language, they don't understand your language, they don't know you.
Yes.
That's the kind of leader I want to raise.
Okay.
Someone who oozes confidence, and that's what we are going to learn about. And somebody that people just look up to, somebody just appears in a crowded room and immediately you know that that person is a leader.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
what I want. That's what I'm pointing at. That's the leadership I'm looking at. It's not the title. It's not who's behind you. It's not whose wife you are. It's not whose husband you are. It's not how much money you have, whose children, whose child you might be, because obviously we know that people, are you familiar with the word nepotism?
No.
Okay, nepotism is when it's a very unjust system. And fairly borderline illegal, when somebody is a big leader or a very famous person. And because the person is a famous person, his friends, he puts into leadership positions, not because on merits, not because they deserve it, not because they earned it, not because they worked for it, but just because they are good friends or family members or siblings of that person who is actually owning the company, for instance. That's nepotism. Your niece, your nephew, your friends, and they are being put in a position they never earned, they never worked for, and they don't know how to handle because those people are not leaders. You understand? They are in that position because of someone else.
Yeah.
In other words, they were put there on someone else's coattail. Those people will never last. Those people will never last because they are not leaders. Now, I'm not saying just because you are related to a leader, you're automatically off. I'm just saying that if the only reason you are in the position where you are, you may not be a leader. But I mean, this is kind of common sense. When you look around, you see all those absolutely idiots who are put into different positions and they know nothing about nothing. So those are not leaders. In other words, you are not being made a leader because somebody puts you into a position.
No.
You are a leader because you were born one. And of course, you can be raised one, and these things can be enhanced in you. But even as a child, when no position, no name, nothing, you don't know who the person, you just know you're watching like in a kindergarten, how children play. Immediately you can spot who the leaders are.
Yeah.
Because you were born with that you will develop.
Yeah, true.
That makes sense. So that's what so and also you can watch babies may not understand each other's language and they don't speak, and but one of them or two of them will lead. They will lead the whole crowd. That's talking about, you can spot leaders. So let's see, not in particularly order, but I want to just go into this whole list. First of all, what you want to ask of yourself, are you followable? Are you more easy to follow than others? This is something that will be very telling. Let's just list some of the negative aspects. People who are, can you name some, point out some characteristics of people who are not easy to follow,
They are controlling.
Controlling, not easy to follow. You mentioned untrustworthy, not easy to follow.
Insecure.
Insecure, definitely. Confidence is a big thing with a leader.
Not clear about where they are going.
Lack of clarity, yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
lack of self-conscious. I say that also already a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No self-awareness, you said.
Most times I can't follow a leader when they are always speaks about themselves.
Oh, that's a very good one. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Self-exaltation is not
that's
exactly.
big indication for me to not follow.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
they at
And
first
somebody always has a story about himself that always he is the hero. That's
Yeah.
after a while, it's just hard to listen to. That's for sure.
It's not okay. Yeah. I have to think.
A leader that does not live his message.
Right. So he says one thing and he does another,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
But you may not know that because you may not see their private life. Maybe you don't see that, but you feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it.
You can pick it up.
Yeah, you can pick it up,
So
really.
in other words, you have to be one with your message
Yeah.
Yeah.
as a leader. So yeah, I mean, we can list a bunch of things, but let's just see.
And when leaders speak over other people, that's also an indication. When leaders direct negative speaks about people or other organizations, that's for me an indication to not follow.
Right. Yeah. So, but that what would be the reason why a leader would speak ill of others or of another company?
Because he's not secure about himself, I think.
Exactly. So that's basically lack of self-confidence.
Yeah.
Okay, so lot can be said. Oh, you know what? Give me an outward expression of somebody you would not follow. Something that you look at the person and something is, I don't want to say the word, but if you just look at somebody.
But someone is a snob
No, outside.
outside.
I basically already said.
When a leader, excuse me, I say what I have to say. When a leader is not close in the way he is bringing his or her message, when they
Not dressed accordingly. Is that what you say? Not
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, but basically, if somebody is not tidy, is what I was looking for, because it
Yeah,
can be a sport.
but you can see the difference when people unexpected phone me with a camera and they are I know them, then I put my camera on and I say I'm sorry, I'm not dressed for this occasion. I do some other work now, but then you can see because or if your luggage is in the airport, for some reason, I can see people dressed well. You know what
Well,
I
some people
want to
are
say.
not dressed well, some people are not dressed well, even on airports.
But you
And
can see
but
on the way
increasingly worse and worse.
I can see it in the way of they make combination of clothing.
I see
So
what you-
I can see that.
Like it's not in harmony.
Right. Yeah. I
Right.
can.
Well, basically, like not to pick on any particular one, but if we of course touched very much on that in Royal Grace and Elegance, but basically, as a leader, you want to dress where you're going. You don't dress where you are or where you have been. You dress where you. So, and that is also not. I mean, I emphasize that you do it for yourself primarily, but of course, not to forget that everybody else is watching us, and they will make a judgment call on us. Without us opening our mouths, they immediately, just like you said, you can pick out who is who and where they are in their personal development just based on how they look
Yeah.
of their clothing. And it doesn't have to be expensive, but it has to be neat and tidy. It
Yes.
cannot be wrinkled, it cannot be soiled, because obviously you know that person cannot even take care of their own attire, especially if they are in public. Then definitely I have no vote of confidence for that person. So as a leader, you want to dress accordingly because you are a leader. And in my opinion, also at home, I'm not saying put on a makeup. I don't put on makeup unless I absolutely have to for movies or for occasions. At home, I don't wear makeup. But when I'm on camera, it is my duty to respect you with my appearance.
Yes.
So some people may not understand that, but for a woman not to put makeup on is like not being fully dressed.
Yes.
You don't understand that, come to my class of Royal Grace and Elegance, and you will have a lot more on that subject. But for now, we're talking about leaders. Of
And
course,
second,
as a leader, you always have to be aware that people are watching you,
yeah,
and they are making their judgment call on you based on what they see, even without you first opening your mouth. And they already have a decision in their hearts, one way or another, even subconsciously, based on how you look, before you can open your mouth and say. And it really shifts their focus on what you are going to say based on how they felt about you, just by looking at you even before you open your mouth. So that's how important is the visual aspect of your appearance. So are you followable? We already discussed that if you look the part, then this definitely helps. And a confident person looks the part. So I don't know if I want to go down on all those lists and then explain them. Yeah, okay, maybe I'll just go on down on the list and then I'm going to explain them. So basically, we put it in 5 major categories, but that represents a leader. It's confidence, gratitude, discipline, leadership, and enjoyment. And I'm going to explain all of them. So let's go with confidence, because that's one of the things that you want to look for in a leader. And again, this applies.
Can you please
We will do, don't
repeat?
worry. We will go by one, as I said, we will go one by one. So as I said, this doesn't have to be applying to you if you're non-Christians or Christians. This applies to every leader.
Yeah, true.
Something you can definitely use. So confidence is number 1. Now, how does a confident person appear? We already touched on that. It appears neat, tidy. Again, it's not about money. It's the way the person dresses himself.
Yeah.
Because that immediately tells you whether the person respects himself or herself or not. And if someone cannot respect themselves, they will not be able to respect you either, or any of your things. If the person appears in public in soiled clothing, attire, I would have serious doubts about that person's abilities as a leader. So confidence would be number 1. Now, confidence and the lack of it can appear very differently to everyone, but somehow you can sense confidence when it's present, and you can sense confidence when it's not present. I mean, you can sense the insecurity when that's present. And of course, some people use a lot of masks to to hide their insecurity. What would be some of the masks that people would use for insecurity? That they try to project confidence, but they are not. So what are some of those things? Alexander already touched on that, actually. Control, for instance. A person who is not completely confident is trying to control everybody else.
Yeah, true.
That's right. That's right.
Circumstances and everything and everyone. And that's just not a good indication of the person's level of confidence, because really, as I said, I'm very much favor of free will. If you like my things, come. If you don't like my things, don't come. I mean, if want to participate in this program, fine. If not, that's fine too. If you like my post, hit like. If you don't like my post, not a problem. But do you know that how many people are absolutely obsessed about, oh my goodness, I want to see so many likes? That doesn't show confidence to me.
No.
To me,
No.
that someone who is so focused and obsessed about likes or dislikes or whatever, all the response from total strangers, why that I would be asking the first question, why are you so addicted to the attention of total strangers and to the affection of total strangers? Because if somebody who you don't even know, or you only know from the net, or you met once, puts like a negative response, like a negative emoji on under your post. And I have met people like this, grown-ups. I have met people like this. You don't, I mean, I was like, what? And if somebody is making a negative face, how do you feel? Do you feel hurt? Do you feel insecure about what you have posted? Little things like that. And I'm talking about grown-ups. It shouldn't matter for you. If you believe in something and you want to post it, post it.
Mm-hmm.
And don't change it because the likes are disappearing or less people are liking it. My goodness. I mean, that's where these days it starts, in my opinion, because I'm looking at people and they are so addicted on approval of total strangers. That doesn't show confidence to me. That doesn't show leadership. That shows like a 1-year-old child who didn't get the attention they wanted to get from their parents. But we are so not going to go there. Why these things are, present in someone's life, but we see it increasingly more and more present in most everybody's life, or very, very many people's lives. So we don't want to go there. Okay, so confidence. Now, confidence is one of the ways it appears that people are looking for approval. That person is not confident.
No.
People who are leaders who are trying to control others, that person is not confident.
No.
Somebody who is loud, to me, that shows insecurity, lack of confidence. A person who is very confident doesn't have to speak loud. So these are some of the masks people using. They are loud because they want to show how confident you are. Well, guess what? You will show more confidence when you are lowering your voice. There's this, of course, this psychological effect that if you lower your voice, everybody lowers theirs because they want to hear. They have to hear what you say. Otherwise, if they are loud, they won't be here. They won't be hearing what you're saying. So they, of course, they're going to listen to you and lower their own voice. But if you are loud, the way your mind works, it tunes out the loudness. So whatever you say, after you raised up your voice, whatever you're going to say, they are not going to be receptive because they're going to close down because they are trying to use it as a barrier to protect themselves. So being loud is not confidence at all. In fact, it is the opposite. Have you watched you've seen The Devil Wears Prada?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
A long time ago, so I must see it again.
Yeah.
She never raised her voice, ever.
No.
She was always very quiet.
Yeah.
But everybody was silent when she spoke, isn't it? When Miranda spoke, everybody was silent. Everybody wanted to hear. Hold on a second. I have to do something. My tea was boiling in the samovar, and the samovar doesn't switch itself off. I have to switch it, but I forgot. But anyway, I just smelled this beautiful aroma. It's like, oh my goodness, it's my tea. But anyway, so Miranda never had to raise her voice. In fact, she spoke very quiet, chillingly quiet. But that's how confident she was. She knew she never has to raise her voice. She knew that everybody will be silent and listen. I don't even remember if she ever, I don't believe she ever raised her voice. Ever.
No.
And that's remarkable. That shows confidence to me. So one of the ways that you can measure your confidence, for instance, let's say you are in a, that's a very good one. You are in a completely different environment, like you could be in a different country, in a, I don't know, let's say you are in a television studio. I like that. Television studio, you are one of the panel members, and you have to, you are there to give your opinion on whatever, and you don't know anybody else, any of the panel members, and they don't know you either.
Yeah.
Now that's, and of course, all the cameras are on you, all the spotlights are on you, and you want to project confidence. How do you, number one, you have to feel the room. You have to read the room. You have to read people because you don't know them. So what are the telltale signs that you can read people, how confident they are? Right now, we are still on number one, confidence. How confident those people are. We already mentioned lack of loudness.
And they all sitting in an.
Yeah, everybody's sitting in a circle or whatever.
Okay,
but
they have their hands not this way or this way. They have their hands properly at the table, and they look.
there's no table.
Oh.
Observe their whole body language.
Okay. You have your for a man, you have your legs, both feet on the ground first.
That would be very uncomfortable. That would be very uncomfortable for a 2-hour long conversation. It's a conversation. Everybody is trying to project confidence, whether they are or not, that's a different story, but they want to project confidence. So how do you project confidence, and how can you tell who is more confident than you are, or who is less confident, or how confident those people really are, as opposed to what they project, how they really are?
I don't know. I think what I think is that I would stay silent for a while and see what. Look at them. What is? Who are you?
Well, if you are silent in a talk show where you're supposed to be talking, that doesn't show confidence, does it?
No.
No, but when you're not given the word, then you have to be.
You can cut in anytime you like. That's not the issue. It doesn't have to be on camera. I just wanted to make it very pointed that you are on the.
Okay.
Make it as uncomfortable setting for you as possible. But it could be a room, a strange room you walk in. You don't know anybody, and you want to give the best image of yourself like everybody else. You need to read the room. So we talk about confidence. Well, I want to give it to you because this is really.
Please.
This is a very high-tech stuff in this field, leadership. Confidence. This is how you can measure. Am I more comfortable than others who are here? Am I more comfortable?
So that is what you ask yourself.
Well, it could be an internal question. You don't have to literally ask this of yourself.
No, okay.
But if you feel comfortable crossing your leg, you can do that. If you feel comfortable having both of your legs, it depends on you. The point is,
reason.
you want to be comfortable, because when you are not comfortable, it will show. Like if you are in a certain, like you sit up like this, that may look good for 2 minutes, but then for 2-3 hours, and it doesn't look comfortable, but it projects confidence. But at the same time, that person cannot be comfortable. But if you just position yourself in a nice, proper way, but at the same time you are comfortable, that shows that you are confident.
Yeah, so be yourself, actually.
You might not want to suggest that to everyone. What I'm saying is,
It's very straight, Frida.
be there,
Yeah.
be aware of what you're doing and how you do projecting
Yeah.
yourself. At the same time, make sure that you are comfortable. Am I more comfortable than everybody else? For instance, the loudest person is not comfortable for sure. The loudest person wants to be sure that everybody hears him, and yelling for hours definitely will
I
not make
know.
comfortable, neither will it make comfortable anybody else. So the person who feels that they have to yell in order to be heard, that person is not comfortable.
True.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Yeah.
if you're comfortable crossing your legs or sitting however you're sitting, or even just listening and just actively listening,
Yeah.
then you show confidence. And at the same
Yeah.
time, when they say, okay, well, what is your opinion about this subject, whatever the subject was, then what do? How do you express yourself? Are you clear in your communication? Because
That
a
is,
leader has to be clear in their
yeah.
communication. The leadership shows even when you are amongst leaders, there are levels, right? There are levels of leadership.
Yeah.
You can spot confidence even if you are sitting on an airport and just watching the people go by. If I would ask you, so can you find someone who's confident?
Yeah.
You can spot the person. Can you find people who are not comfortable? Well, that's easier to find because there are more people than those who are, but that's not your story, and we are learning how to project the best confident position. So number one, am I more comfortable than the others here?
Yeah.
Am I clear in my communications?
Yeah.
And that's not just on camera, but I'm just, giving you all kinds of nuggets. Okay, so confidence. So in other words, if you are confident, you are comfortable.
Yeah.
If you are confident, you are comfortable. For instance, you came on this television show and you know it, and you are very well prepared. You know exactly what they're asking you because you are very familiar with the theme, with the subject,
Yeah. Yeah.
with your homework. So you are confident, not just in yourself in general, but also about what
About the topic. Yes.
And if you are confident, you will be comfortable. You will be comfortable not to talk if you don't have to. And you will be also comfortable talk when the microphone will be handed to you, or jump into anytime you want to. Make sure.
Yeah.
And you also do it, but we are already learned it on Royal Grace and Elegance classes, that you know how to interject, you know how to put your point across. So we're not gonna go into that. And but obviously you need to be clear in your communication. And also one of the things I would like to point out, because there's so many bad examples that we can point out, clear communication is of course a must, because people must understand you, but also you have to always look at it from the perspective of the audience.
Yeah.
Maybe what you're saying is clear to you, but it's not clear to them.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So always be aware that when you talk to people, are they going to understand what I'm saying? For instance, let's say you speak Latin. I took Latin for 8 years, so I have some understanding of Latin, but I'm not going to use Latin words just to show how, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know that the audience will not understand it, and then eventually I will not be able to put my point across clearly, because half of the things I'm saying they won't understand.
Yeah.
You can see when doctors talk to each other is very different than when doctors talk to an audience who are not of the same.
Yeah. It's very different. Yes.
Of the same background. Because with doctors, of course, they're going to use the Latins. Same with lawyers, I assume, or same with people who are within the same science. You understand?
Yeah.
But when they talk to an audience, they have to go to that level where their communication is clear. And that's something that a leader must do always. Your communication must be always clear. Otherwise, as we discussed, people will not follow you because they don't understand what you're saying.
That's true.
And sometimes what people do when they feel extra, especially not confident, but they try to project that they are confident, they try to use big words.
Yeah.
They try to use words just to show how confident they are, how educated they are, how prepared they are. But at the same time, they will not have followers because people are like, you know what? Every time this person opens his mouth, I feel stupid because they're using words I don't understand. So automatically I feel less than. Nobody wants to follow a leader who makes them feel less than.
That is true. Yes.
In fact, you will always gravitate towards people who are lifting you up. So
Yeah.
somewhere in, maybe not in the 8 point, but some of these 5 points that I'm going to discuss here, somewhere there you want to put in that you want to be a lifter of people as a leader.
Yeah.
Whether you're Christian or not makes no difference in this picture, because people want to be lifted up. Nobody wants to feel like they are stupid. Nobody wants to feel they are less than. Nobody wants to feel that, you know what, just because I don't understand the Latin, I can't participate in this conversation. I can't even have an opinion because I don't understand this lingo. I don't understand this jargon. So you always want to make sure that you communicate on the level of your audience. And so want to make sure that you communicate in different levels with different audience. It's also not good to talk to people on a level of 2-year-olds when they are in fact grown-ups. Make sense?
Yeah.
Sorry, I did not hear because I had to answer.
It's also not good to talk to people who are on this level and talk to them on this level.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Because you will lose them. I mean, they're just going to walk out. I know I would walk out because I would feel like, you know, this is a total waste of my time. I already understand this. Don't talk to me like I'm an idiot. Talk to me on a level that I can understand. You see what I'm saying? Most of them are bad.
Yeah.
Are bad. Perfect example. I don't know, Kamala Harris, anybody?
Yeah, yes.
Right. She talks like she talks to 2-year-old kindergartners who
Yeah,
are
so
because that's the level she is at, and she assumes that you are also on that level, and she just doesn't even understand that people are actually grown-ups, you know. But anyway, we're not gonna go into that. I'm just saying that this is a very good example. She talks in rhymes like and she would use what word salad. That's the other thing. Clarity versus word salad, and you know which one you are. So
yes,
when you talk in word salad, that doesn't exactly inspire confidence in you as a leader. So you want to make sure that you put your point across. In my opinion and in my experience, the less you talk as a leader, the better. Number one, people's attention span is very short. Usually their time is very short as well. And when you talk too much, the important stuff is lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And I want to here address something, what I have noticed, and someone was just asking me the other day about that, what I think about prophets. Of course, we need prophets. Prophets are wonderful, but what I have found is some prophets would post a lot of stuff on their social sites, which is wonderful. But I immediately discount those whose posts are too long. Thus says the Lord, and then the post is too long. I'm not saying they haven't heard from God, but what I'm assuming, and this is just me, this is my own personal opinion, which I am entitled to, by the way. So immediately I'm thinking, okay, God gave the person this much sentence. Because God, from my experience, God is to the point. He's short and he talks to me at least like one sentence, and I know exactly what to do, and he puts me in the right perspective. So I don't think he would talk this much. You understand? 2 pages. Thus says the Lord, and this every day. Some people, some prophets, and I'm not doubting that they are prophets, but some prophets would tend to post long-winded messages every day. that's my opinion, that I think God spoke this much and you have just added the rest. I wish you would just say that one sentence and that will be enough for me.
Yeah.
Because that one has the power, not the long ones have the power.
Right.
The short one has the power. And it's also, of course, easily remembered.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I like Apostles' short sentences, short, the quotes. You will remember the quotes. You may not remember the whole message. I mean,
No.
word for word. But you
Right.
will remember the quotes because those are nuggets. Those are the golden seeds, which is why he has the series Golden Seeds. So, yeah, I don't know how we got into that, but I think we had talked about clarity. So clarity, in my opinion, the less you talk as a leader, the better. And the shorter your instructions are, the easily will be remembered
Yes.
to follow. So as a leader, you want to probably remember this gratitude. So first one was confidence that a leader must have. And the second would be gratitude. It's not in particular order. I'm just throwing it out. Gratitude. Well, a person who is easily followable is full of gratitude. We talked about Thanksgiving a few weeks ago.
Yes.
A person who is a leader and is confident, that's a good thing, but the person has to be also full of gratitude.
Yeah.
That person has to be full of thanksgiving. That person has to have a good news. The person has to be someone that you like to look at, someone that you like to listen to. And if the person is secretly bitter, that will spill out one way or another. Maybe little remarks, maybe a little, just needle points here and there like a porcupine. You don't need those comments. You understand?
Yeah.
Focus as a leader, you want to focus on something that you are grateful. You are grateful that you have the microphone in your hair. You are grateful you have the cameras on you. You are grateful that you have followers. You are grateful you have an audience. Grateful that you can do what you're called to do. Be grateful. Don't look at what others are doing and maybe you're not there yet. That's not what you need to look at. You need to look at what you have.
Yeah.
And again, using the analogy of an airport, because there's a lot of people are going to and fro from different countries. That's what I'm saying. Forget about culture. It's not about culture. People are people wherever you go. So if I ask you, show me a person who is grateful, show me a person who has gratitude, you can point those out.
Yeah.
By the lines they have on their faces, those people are not grateful for the most part.
Yeah.
Because it's always looking for, but if I make a face like this, I don't look grateful, do I? You understand, it shows. And I'm not just saying for that moment, but when you have these deep set lines that shows how your face is normally, you understand, versus how a person has maybe these douche and smile lines, these douche and smile lines. That shows that the person is often smiling. That person has a cheerful, grateful attitude. So as a leader, you want to project those things genuinely. I'm not teaching you tricks.
No.
No, I know.
And how to sell yourself better. I'm really want to encouraging you to go for these qualities, because as a leader, these are the things people are going to look at you and they're going to either follow you or they will not follow you. They will follow someone else. So gratitude. Okay. Discipline, number 3. That's a big one. Discipline. Again, we are at the airport in a cafe, and show me a person who is disciplined. You can immediately show the person who is disciplined.
Oh, yeah.
And you can also show who is not disciplined. Number 1, of course, the way they dress themselves. Nothing is out of place with a disciplined person. Someone who is a person of excellence. A person of excellence is always a disciplined person, in my opinion.
Yes.
Because the two work hand in hand.
Yes.
And a disciplined person is always a person of excellence. I'm not talking about gather all the trash or all the litter on the airport when you are, trying to catch your flight. But the way you carry yourself, and everybody else knows that you're disciplined. Even the way you walk, the way you pulling your thing, your carry-on luggage, just the way you walk.
Yeah.
You walk with
Right.
confidence. You know exactly where you want to go. You are not, I don't know, trying to cut lines. You are not, you have clarity of purpose. You are going to go from A to B, trying to catch your flight, your connecting flight. You're not necessarily wandering around in shops. If you have time, you can do that. But even that, you do it with discipline. You can also spot people who are not disciplined. What would be the telltale sign? For instance, so many, of course. But if you want to gather, like what would be a telltale sign of someone who is just, you don't talk to the person doesn't talk to you, you just spot them out in a crowd. What would be the telltale sign for you personally to show you that the person is not disciplined in their lives?
Mm.
When they leave their stuff on the table and not throwing it in the.
No, because that's easier. Let's just go with. So I want to teach you how to read the room, is what I'm saying, as a leader, because you have to have that. You're just watching people walk by. There's no table, there's no littering. That would be too easy. I don't want to make it easy for you.
First, I look to their face and to their body, so to say, their body language, how
But
they walk, how they
that's a
their
very telltale
movements, how they do
sign.
their movements. You can
Yes,
see if they have movements that's very gentle, or when they this
yeah, too much
fast,
movement,
fast,
too much
too much
unnecessary.
movements, then I know that person is unsecure and yeah, and is a little bit nervous for his next flight, so to say, or to miss his
Um,
flight, or
you can be in a hurry and at the same time be disciplined. Everybody, let's just put it on an even ground, because I don't want to make it about
yeah, yeah.
particular situation. Everybody is in a hurry. Everybody is trying to catch their flight. Nobody is littering. You're just watching people as they go by, and you can
Yeah.
still spot who's disciplined and who's not.
Mm-hmm.
They are all in a hurry. That's beyond their control. The flight is leaving, so they want to catch their connecting flight. Nothing wrong with that. We do it all the time, right?
Yeah.
So what would be the telltale sign for you to because we are sitting in the airport and you have to tell me, in your opinion, who is disciplined and who is not disciplined?
Well, I think the way they carry their stuff, the suitcases, their coat maybe just tied together.
That shows a lot. Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But one of the things is posture, isn't it?
Yeah.
A
Yes.
disciplined, confident person is definitely has a posture, doesn't slump back,
Yes.
because they are disciplined in their body.
Yeah.
And that's what
Yes.
we're watching.
Yes.
We don't
That
talk to
is.
them, they don't talk to us, we don't see littering, there's no chair that they haven't placed in the right position. No, you can tell if that's their normal position, they don't seem to be disciplined.
That's true.
They
Mhm.
don't
Yes.
seem. Now we're talking about leaders, and what are the characteristics that make you attractive as a leader, that make you followable? Are you easily followable? These are what we are discussing now, just to tie it back with a nice neat bow. So one of the things I unconsciously, I must say, I unconsciously look at, are they well taken care of?
Oh yeah.
How is their hair? Are they well put together in their whatever they're wearing? It doesn't have to be a suit or a tie, but it
No.
has
No.
to be something that's
Yes.
exactly their size,
Yes.
bigger, not smaller, but their size. It doesn't have to do with money. Again, I want to emphasize it doesn't have to do with brand.
Mm-hmm.
but it's something that fits them perfectly. How are they carrying whatever they're wearing?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like that in great lengths in Royal Grace and Elegance classes.
Yeah.
Also, I look at how fit they are. How fit they are.
Yeah,
Makes
that's
sense.
right. That shows
A
discipline.
disciplined person, in my opinion, or in my book, is a fit person.
Yeah.
When I see someone who's extremely morbidly overweight, that person is not disciplined.
Mhm.
Makes sense? And it will be very hard for me to follow that person because I already know that the very thing, to me, it's a small thing to discipline your appetite, to discipline your diet. If you can't even keep that, you are not going to be in charge of me. How are you going to give me a life advice? Who to marry, what business to start, what school to start, how many children to have, which church to join to, which house to buy. You understand bigger things. If that small thing, if that small aspect of your life is not under control,
Yeah.
it would be very hard for me to follow you if you are morbidly overweight. Make sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Discipline shows in your physique.
Mhm.
If you don't like it, it's fine. If you guys don't like it, it's fine. It's my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm entitled to it.
Mhm.
Okay. Leadership, let's say. So you can feel that a person is disciplined, that you can see whether a person is disciplined or not. They behave and look differently than those who are not disciplined. It's very hard to follow a leader who is not disciplined. In fact, I think it's borderline impossible because how are you going to follow someone who is not disciplined?
Mhm.
The person is erratic, you know. One day he says this, the other day he said that, you know, all kinds of problems, all kinds of problems.
Mhm.
Okay. So leadership is it's a big subject. It's an all-encompassing word, and we kind of touched some of the aspects. I want to go back a little bit to confidence because that one is a big one, and there's a lot to be said about that. Confidence. To give you a trick, how does, let's say, because I want to tell you, but I don't want to make it very easy. I want you to think.
You're welcome.
Right. So again, we are in this room setting with lots of people. Actually, no, not lots of people, because that would make it easier for you to hide. No. You have 5 people or 6 people.
Yeah.
Everybody has to discuss. There's one reporter or like a hostess or something, and everybody has to, just kind of chime in with their own opinion regarding a certain subject. So we have already discussed, am I more comfortable than everybody else here? That would be one of the things. If not, of course, you make the adjustment. The other thing is, see if I can make you guess. I don't know if I can make you guess, but anyway, I'm just going to say it. So one of the things that you can show yourself more confident than you are. Number one, you want to lower your voice. Number two, you want to talk slower than you usually do.
Mhm.
Number three, you want to slow down your movement to ridiculously slow.
Mhm.
Because those who are not confident, those who are not self-confident and not confident in whatever they're doing in that room, they're going to be talking fast, talking loud, not even finishing their sentences. So the communication will be not clear. And they will do a lot of sudden movements. A lot of sudden movements. And did you say something? Oh, is it my turn to talk? This
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
exist
yeah,
confidence, you see.
yeah.
Yeah.
Make sense? So I want to show you the bad example so you can go as far away from that as it can.
I missed point 1, please.
Lower your voice.
Well,
You want
lower
to
your
know
voice. Yeah.
you
Thank
already
you.
mentioned that I didn't want to dwell on it very much.
Thank you.
You want to slow your talk. Like if I talk
Yeah.
with my friends,
Yeah.
I talk much faster than I do now.
I
But now I have
know.
an audience, I have
know.
to slow, and I don't know whoever else is that out there because I didn't check how many people are online. But
know.
and how many people are going to watch later on. But if I would talk with my normal speed, it would not be a good thing because I would
I
lose
know.
that, you see.
I know.
So
I
I
saw you
pace
in
myself.
Hungary. Yeah.
I want to pace myself. And also with the movements. Not so much here, but like when we are in this group setting that I mentioned, this room, it could be a studio, it could be in front of cameras, it could be in front of an audience even. But you want to make sure that audience, okay, we get back to the audience. If you have an audience and you are on camera, that's a different story. But the point is you want to make sure that your movements are very paced, very, very slow. When somebody talks to you, I'm not giving you tips, but I'm kind of giving you tips.
Yeah, you are.
Because that shows that you're nervous. It shows that you're not confident. And especially you want to make sure that your face is not, it's all kinds of different expression. You want to control all that, but in a good way. But like in a good way. But then if you're confident, you will be controlling yourself anyway. And then you will really stand out from all the others who don't know all this I just shared with you for free.
Thank you so
You will
much.
really stand out because
Yes.
based on these pointers, you can really see who is really confident, who is just trying to appear confident.
Yeah.
And even and the other thing is that if you want to, I think it's hard not to tell when somebody's not confident, but let's just say you need some extra help. Even if you watch a video of people talking and an argument or a discussion, people are on different sides, which is a good thing. You will find yourself in a lot of different sides of an argument or a subject. It's a good thing to do. Just turn down the sound, turn down the voice, and just watch the body language. The person who's confident will be very slow, but in a good way, not slow like mentally retarded, but slow.
Yes.
Waits until the other person finishes and then puts their point across.
Yes.
And again, you see, and then it makes a face like you're interested. And you make the other person feel interesting, which is more important. And you make sure that you are focusing your attention on whatever the person says. If somebody is not confident and rude at the same time, which kind of goes hand in hand, the person never allows you to finish your sentence. Even in a setting when you are in front of camera, people are watching, watch any YouTube discussions. You can really tell. Always cuts in, never allows you to finish your sentence. It can have a lot of different reasons why, but it shows that the person is not confident. It shows that the person is not a true leader. Because a true leader has enough confidence in himself or herself that it's fine, you can finish your sentence. I can still remember what I wanted to say. I will still ask the questions I wanted to ask. And at the same time, I'm going to respect you because I respect myself. Make sense? So also slow movements. Not jerky movements, not sudden movements. Also with your head, you want to turn towards a person who talks. Some people don't do that because they are rude, because they have zero social skills, even though they are on television. That kind of brings out the question, why are they there if they don't know how to behave, even in private, let alone in front of us? But that's just basically they sell themselves the way they are. But these are some of the things that you can really focus on. Okay, so the last one will be enjoyment. We are talking about you easily followable? Are you followable? That's what we are talking about. So a person who enjoys life, who enjoys in the moment of being in front of camera, talking to you, having your attention, enjoyment. If you are magnetic, you are automatically followable. And a person who exudes confidence, gratitude, discipline, leadership, enjoyment, that person is automatically magnetic. So automatically, easily followable. Than those who are not, than those who don't possess any of these, or if they just possess one or two of these, all five of these you need in order to be followable. They all support each other. If you just have confidence, but you don't have discipline, gratitude, leadership, enjoyment, nope. If you are, I don't know, just disciplined, but you are not confident, you don't have leadership skills, you are not full of gratitude, you are not full of enjoyment, you are not followable.
That's true.
Many people are, for instance, coming from military background, and they used to people following them, but they have been put in that position, not necessarily because of their skill sets. So they are very disciplined indeed, but they don't exude they may even exude confidence, but they don't exude true leadership. And we listed what the leaderships are, right? You want to lift people up, you don't want to put them down, you want to pay attention to them, you want to have their best interest all the time. Doesn't exude enjoyment. If you think about a certain character, even in movies you can tell.
Yeah.
Just because you have the skills in terms of discipline, because you are, for instance, an army brat, an army person, and you don't have confidence, gratitude, leadership, enjoyment, people will find it very hard to follow you.
Yeah.
So, okay. And now we got into what I wanted to talk about.
Well,
Habits of highly effective leaders. But now you have the basics, so
yes.
basis of all that, so it will be easy for you to understand this. They maintain eye contact. Number one, leaders. They maintain eye contact. What does eye contact show you in a leader?
What does it show you? It shows interest.
Whenever I ask a question regarding leaders, always imagine yourself. You are standing in front of your leader. And it's about eye contact. So.
Oh. This.
I'm asking.
We have to answer the question.
Yeah, the question was, what does a leader, your leader now, that's what I'm saying, I want to make it personal. Because when you put yourself on the shoes of the followers, then you will be a better leader, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you see how people might perceive you.
Yeah.
That's called self-awareness in this context. So you want to maintain eye contact, because what does the eye contact from your leader tell you as a follower?
That he or she is really interested.
Yes.
Yeah. And that they care.
Yes.
And I think it's very important that the leader cares about the people he is leading.
Very much, yes. What else?
Yeah.
That he is aware of you. That's also voice.
Alexander?
What I do as leader to
No, that wasn't the question. That wasn't the question.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed
eye contact from your leader.
Eye contact.
Are you?
What does that to you? Yeah.
Good question.
It's one word.
They really in
3 words, maybe.
Being important.
Thank you. I am important. That's what it shows you.
Yeah.
What does it show you when someone doesn't keep eye contact, especially if the person is your leader? I am not important because the person
Yeah.
doesn't even take the time to look at me.
Yes.
Everybody wants to feel
To be important. Yes.
your followers. Followers want to feel important.
Yes.
That's why you want to maintain eye contact. This is one of the habits of highly effective leaders. Number 2, we already touched on that. They speak with a steady, calm voice. Not a voice like fluctuating. And on that, I want to mention something. Do you know what up talk is? You don't know what up talk is?
Up class?
Up talk.
Up talk.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Not, I cannot explain it in English.
Up talk is what these idiots doing lately. They always bring their sentences up.
Oh, at the end.
Yeah.
Like a question.
Yeah, like a question. It's not really a question, but they just idiots. So don't ever do that, because it doesn't inspire confidence in the listener, in your followers, because it shows that you are not confident in what you're saying, and it's not correct either.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, I was in a, oh gosh, I can't even talk like this. Any sentence you can do with up talk. Everybody is trained these days on television. If you watch the American television, anyway, they always do the up talk. Those who are idiots, and you know who they vote for, so no need to, it just goes in this whole package of, I don't know how to use my own language, I don't even know how to talk properly, I don't use the proper grammar, yeah, and my hair is blue, so that nothing wrong with the hair being blue, but the whole thing seems to be going in the same direction with this whole package deal. So up talk is a no. We don't do up talk. Like I can't even think of how to so I went to the church, and I met a friend of mine, and we were talking like, it's like, it's always up. It's always up. It's
Yeah.
always
Okay. Yeah.
That makes you look stupid. Do yourself a favor. Don't do that. Unless you actually have
I
a
don't do
legitimate
that.
one where you do the up thing at the end with the question mark. Other than that, don't do the up talk because it just makes you sound stupid. Don't sound stupid. So they speak, highly effective leaders speak with a steady, no up talk, steady, calm.
And then go down at the end.
Yes, that's when the punctual mark is. Or if you want to ask a question, obviously it's legitimate to
Yeah,
make
of course. Yes.
up.
Okay.
Okay. Number 3,
Yes.
they don't feel the need to brag. They don't feel the need to brag. Alexander, you already mentioned it at the very beginning, that we talked about leaders don't really brag. They don't feel the need to tell every story about themselves. They don't need to feel, they don't feel the need to make themselves the hero of every story, because you want to. Okay, again, I'm going to ask questions. I don't believe in telling things. I believe in making people think, and they would come back.
Okay. I'll do my best.
It's easier just to dump the information, but since I'm taking the time as a leader, so this is the best way to teach, more effective when you make the audience interactive.
Yes.
So they don't need them. Okay. So if you how does if you keep hearing stories of your leader, again, put yourself into the shoe as not as a leader but as a follower. If you keep hearing your leader constantly brag about themselves, constantly bringing, whether made up or true, stories where they are always the hero of the story, how does that make you feel as a follower?
then I feel very insignificant because she can do it better than I can do it.
That's the message, isn't it? I'm
Yeah.
better than anybody else, always.
No.
I'm better than you. You will never get to the same level as I am. Don't even try.
Yeah.
You see, again, you put your audience, your followers down
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you
And
put yourself on a pedestal. Even if you are better at, even if all the stories are true, that you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
assume that they are true. You don't have to tell your followers.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Oh, I excelled in sports. I did the best in the school. I was the best in my class. It's like you feel like you have no room to be the best at because this person already took up every air in the room. I have nothing. You see, because
Yes,
it
and
seems like he's the best singer, he's the best athlete, he's the best doctor, he's the best leader, he's the best in languages, he's the best in guitar or whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
Things that you can do that even remotely gets close to whatever that person, because it's all about him anyway.
yeah.
And then how do I even get, I can never even, the
Mhm.
message is that you can never really achieve that level. And
No.
so, and that's insecurity when somebody is like that, when somebody keeps bragging and keeps bringing up about, their achievements and their things. But I have to tell you that as a leader, this is very countereffective, counterproductive. Number one, people will leave you because they feel less than. They feel like they have no room anywhere where they can be the best because you already took all the rooms and all the best achievements. Even if you are a wonderful, don't tell it, don't say it. It's counterproductive. So they don't feel the need to brag. Don't brag. Number
Mhm.
4, they listen more than they speak. That's kind of self-explanatory. Now, what happens when someone listens to what you say?
Yeah. That's why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Yeah.
That could be another reason. But in practical terms, when you feel that someone's listening to you, how do you feel? When your leader especially is listening to you, how do you feel?
Oh,
Yeah, Freeman.
Alexander?
Then when a person listens what I have to say, then I have the right audience to share what I have to share, then I know they are willing to receive from me. They have willing
Okay,
to.
remember what I said? Right now, you want to put yourself in the shoes of the follower. So as a
yeah.
follower, how do you
Yeah.
feel when your leader takes the time to listen to what you have to say? How does that make you feel? When you can talk and your leader listens to you.
Um, is is the follower talking now or is the leader talking now?
You are a follower right now because I want you
Okay,
to
okay.
put yourself into the shoes of those that you lead. So if you take the time as a leader, for someone who is following you and listen to
Mhm.
them, how does the person feel?
Um, I,
How would you feel if Apostle would give you the time of the day and listen to whatever you have to say? How would that make you feel?
that's okay. Yes, that's a good example. That makes me, so to say, a little bit more important to
Yeah,
him.
you feel like the
Take time.
person took the
To take
time.
time to what I have to say. So
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just the fact that he gave you time, it makes you feel
it makes me feel that the person who leads me respect me, give me room, give me room to
it
express.
makes you feel important.
Important.
Yes, that's the word.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't
It makes
came
you
on the
important.
word. I'm sorry.
Somebody picks up your telephone your leader picks up your telephone. Okay.
Yeah.
You call Apostle and he picks up your telephone. How do you feel?
That is, yes.
Right?
The,
And took the time out of his busy schedule, time difference and all, and picked up your telephone, right? So as opposed to when you call Apostle and he doesn't pick your telephone
That's
ever,
true. Yeah.
how do you
right.
feel? You feel like,
Yes.
okay, I'm not important to this
Yeah.
person.
Right.
Yeah,
Picks up.
yeah.
How do you feel when your leader answers your messages? You feel important.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
How do you
right.
feel how do you feel when Apostle doesn't answer your telephones or doesn't answer your messages? That's
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
he doesn't care about me. I'm not important. I don't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I want to take the time to
That's correct.
then you speak, because these are the feelings and these are the logical conclusions your followers will jump into, and rightfully so. If every meeting is about, now I'm not talking about when you teach, I'm talking about when you have that team meeting, for instance, and all you do as a leader or all your leader is doing just talking, that's not a meeting.
No, it's not a meeting.
That's what I'm saying, because that's dialogue. It's just the monologue. It's again, I feel like, okay, so this is a team meeting, but then again, I feel like I am on a meeting where the leader is talking. I can't cut in, obviously. I can say my perspective of the situation. Because I'm here to listen. So again, I feel like an audience and not as a participant.
Yeah.
And yes, team meeting. So if it's a team meeting, again, there's a room for that as well. When you talk and everybody else listens and doesn't cut in, it depends on the meeting. It depends
Yes.
on the text. But if it's a team meeting, then you want to hear from your people.
Yes.
We will touch on that. So
Of course.
Yeah.
a good leader has a room for people to give them feedbacks, real
Mhm.
feedback.
Yeah.
It doesn't cut him as insecure. You understand? He's not insecure to hear what people have to say. But we'll have. So anyway, number 4, they listen more than they speak. Number 5, they aren't afraid to say, I don't know. A true leader, an effective leader, is not afraid to say, I don't know. One of the things that I absolutely hate is that when a leader or anybody in a leadership position, I should say, feels that they absolutely have to have the answer for everything. Maybe it's not even a leader, it's just somebody. And I know that the person begins to talk, it's like, oh my goodness, I already know that the person has no answer. So why am I wasting my time? Just say you don't know, not a problem. I go and get someone else and ask someone else. It's okay. You can say you don't know. It's okay. I'm fine with that. You're not less of a leader in my eyes because you don't happen to know about that particular subject that I'm asking you. Now, if it's a spiritual question and I'm asking a spiritual leader and he doesn't know the answer, we have a problem. But I'm talking about in general.
Yeah.
Leadership, it applies to any kind of leadership. So if your leader doesn't know the answer, or if you are the leader and you don't know the answer, just say, I don't know, I can look it up, or I do my research, I get back to you later. Don't say a lot of words, don't give a lot of bunch of whatever hogwash just to say something, because your ego doesn't allow you to say, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know about this subject. I'm going to go into, for instance, I have no problem with the fact that I don't know anything about cars. I was never interested in cars. I was just talking to someone this morning, in fact. So you know what? The only reason I know which car is which, because it's written on it. Honestly, really. If it wasn't written, I wouldn't know. I don't recognize cars by shape. Not really. Not really. If I'm used to that particular, Porsche Cayenne, I recognize the shape. But you understand. But that's the only reason. I wouldn't know otherwise. But I'm not afraid to say I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm not even interested. The other thing I don't know, and I'm going to be very honest, The other thing, I know nothing about numbers. I don't know how to count. I never wanted to count. I never cared, honestly, but I mean, really ridiculous. I don't know how to count because I never cared. I never cared. I don't know about numbers. Don't ask me about numbers like 2 + 2 and the whatever. Forget it. I don't care. I don't know. And I'm going to say, I don't know. Ask someone else. As a leader, you should be able to say, I don't know. If they ask you about a specific thing that you should know and you don't know the answer, that's a problem.
Yeah, okay.
I understand. But if it's something, a random question, like, I don't know, what about the engine of the Porsche Cayenne? How does it work?
Porsche Cayenne.
And you just say something because you are the leader and you just absolutely cannot admit that you don't know anything about Porsche Cayenne's engine or whatever. That's a problem. And let alone if the person knows more about who asking you knows more about it than you do, and you pretend like you know, then you just appear ridiculous and dishonest. Make sense? So never be afraid to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
But if you want to have a Christian example, for instance, and let's say, so where is it written in the Bible? And the person says, this and this and that scripture, and you don't know where is it written in the Bible, but you just say something. Just say you don't know. It's okay. Well, right now I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm going to get back to you on that, or do your research, or just or something. Makes sense? All I'm trying to say is you don't have to know everything just because you're the leader.
No, that's right.
But it will really undermine your authority when you are unable to say, I don't know. This will definitely undermine your leadership. When you are afraid to admit if you don't know something. Just say, I don't know. That's the most honest response you can give. And people will respect you for that, Because guess what? Many times they don't know the answer either. Many times your followers won't know the answer either. So that's fine. The person is human. We're all humans, right? So number 6, they don't need validation from others. And we already mentioned that a leader or somebody in leadership position who keeps posting stuff and looks at the telephone constantly, how many likes they got, that person is a child. That's just ridiculous. It's wrong on every level. It undermines my confidence in you as a leader. Don't be on social sites. Or if you have something to say, fine, say it, fine. But then go away, walk away. You can watch it, look at the likes or dislikes or whatever, the questions or comments later on. But you should not be glued to your telephone just because you want validation from strangers. If that's what drives you, you have a problem. You have a problem. You're not a person. Make sense? And this is unfortunately because, of course, in the age of social media, people are just glued to their telephones. Maybe we should add like a 6B would be a leader who is glued to their telephones. We have a problem there. Don't be glued to your telephone when we have a dinner or lunch or whatever, or don't scroll through your telephone. It's rude. It makes me feel that you think I'm not important.
I agree.
But I think that you think I'm not important. Makes sense?
Yes.
It doesn't undermine my value because I know my value. It just shows that you as a leader don't know my value. So why should I follow you if you don't know my value? Your telephone, you can scroll anytime, but this is the time I'm spending with you. And the least you can do is to give me your undivided attention, just like I'm giving you my undivided attention.
Yes.
As a follower. So it goes both ways. Followers are also rude and disrespectful if they're scrolling, while you're talking as a leader or just being in your presence. And the leader also shows the exact same disrespect and just a childish behavior when they scroll through their gadgets and all that because they just have to have the gadgets. Something's wrong. Don't be addicted to anything because then it's just not a good example for your followers. So number 7, a highly effective leader embraces challenges and failures. embraces challenges and failures. And that kind of ties back to number 3. They don't feel the need to brag. You don't have to feel like you have conquered all the challenges already, because then what are you doing? And what are you doing here? People need to find you relatable. Your followers need to find you relatable. If you're the top dog all the time, if you're the superhero of the story, if you're the superhero of the room, then it's like, okay, well, the person's not even human anymore, because he's just super. I can't even relate. He won't be able to understand my personal struggles with the small little things or even the big things, because he apparently doesn't have any of these problems. There's no challenges in his life. There's no failures in his life. When you have a failure in your life, in the past, that is not now, but in the past, because you learn more from failures than from success.
Yeah.
Success doesn't really teach you much.
Yeah.
It maybe teaches you like, okay, I want to have more success, but that can be addictive as well. But failure teaches you, if nothing else, that I don't ever want to fail in this thing again. So I'm going to do everything in my power and beyond not to fail.
Yes.
You are invited again. You are invited to a show, a talk show, and you have to be very prepared in a certain subject. And you just, I don't know, you were scrolling your telephone or you were doing whatever you were doing, but you were not prepared. So you arrived there unprepared. And this whole show bombed. This whole show became a total failure because you were unprepared. Now, what do you learn? Next time I will.
Yes.
You see? And this way you embraced your challenge. I wasn't prepared. I didn't take the time. That's the challenge. And the failure that I bombed on the television show.
Yeah.
Right? So you learned that you never want to feel that way again, that you're unprepared and you're because it doesn't make you feel comfortable. It makes you feel insecure, not confidence, and all that shows.
Yeah.
So what you can do is like, oh my goodness, so what are they going to ask again? Maybe I won't be able to give the answer, and then people are going to see how stupid I am. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to have that feeling.
No.
You want to be confident, and the only way you can feel confident in this setting is when you are prepared, right? And better be more prepared than everybody else in the room, and then you will be the most confident one in the room.
Yeah.
Number 8. Practice active listening. How do you do that? What is active listening? There is listening and there is active listening.
Active.
I think I'm going to put on my sweater. I'm a little cold. So what is active listening?
Active listening is that you say, yeah, you give back what you heard, or you say, you're nodding.
Yeah.
You show that you pay attention.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you look to the direction the person who speak.
Right. So basically, you let the person know that you hear them. You have you show them with your face, you show them with your voice, you show them with your gestures. Your whole body language shows to the other person that I am actively listening. I'm right here. My mind is not drifting anywhere else.
Yeah.
I'm interested. And that's a good thing, because then they will have more confidence in sharing something else later on.
Yes.
But if they see that you are not paying attention, they won't have any confidence in you next time either. So they will not even come. You know what? The person never listens. While I'm talking to him, he's scrolling his telephone. Well, that shows that the person is not actively listening. Maybe the person is smart enough to repeat everything I said, but clearly the attention was not on me. Makes sense? So active listening, just like what you said, you will say, you will show the person that I don't want to say that, do this or do that, or, use But even a child can tell when the parent is listening or not. You know, even your eyes can be drifting, and then they will know exactly. I've seen
Oh
it
yeah.
happen. They will know exactly when your attention is not there.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
Practice active listening. Now, how can you practice active listening? Because I want to dwell on this a little bit more. How do you do that practically?
First of all, keep the eye contact.
That's a very good start. Yes.
Yeah, because when someone is talking to you and you're looking for someone else you want to meet after this talk, then you're not actively listening.
That's very rude. Yeah.
Very rude.
I've seen that. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, let the people let the other person know that you're really interested. What they say.
Yes,
First of all, it starts by you asking questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Ask a question about what he or she talk about. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
making
So that presupposes that you don't talk, right?
Yeah.
So the person comes to you and opens his mouth and starts the first sentence. You don't begin to talk.
No, no, no.
No.
You wait until the person finishes. You ask the relevant questions. Now, having said that, I know that some people like to talk, and I'm talking from the perspective of the follower. Some people like to talk, and you don't need to hear all that information. Some of them are repetitive, some of them are not important, some of them are not relevant. So of course you want to guide, as a leader, you want to guide the conversation, you want to guide that.
By asking questions, yes.
I don't need to hear about that. Just focus on what you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that is allowed. But that also shows active listening because you are paying attention to the thread of the conversation and you're guiding it accordingly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
So that's listening.
Yeah.
The other thing is 10 habits of the highly effective leaders. Number 9, network strategically. You network with others. A leader is someone who recognizes that he doesn't know everything, so he needs others to network with.
Yes.
A person who doesn't network with others, doesn't cooperate with others, especially in Christian circles, there's a problem there. There's no way that you know everything and you can solve it all by yourself. You need somebody else. But if you need to have a scripture for that, nobody has the mind of Christ. All of us have the mind of Christ. Each joint supplies. So we look for people that we want to network with, that we want to collaborate with, that we want to work together with. If you're a prophet, then you probably want to look for other prophets. If you are, I don't know, a teacher, you probably want to network with other teachers. I'm not saying only teacher to teacher and prophet to prophet. I'm just saying that you want to have all the other gifts, you are flowing in other gifts as well. But I'm just saying that if you want to, for instance, grow in your gift, and you should have the desire to grow in your gift, then a prophet would probably would benefit more in terms of growing with their gifts in the company of other prophets. Make sense?
Yeah, true.
If you're a teacher, then you probably would benefit more hanging up with teachers in that aspect.
Yeah.
Growing your teaching skills or listening to more teachings, how to put your point across, for instance. And I'm talking Christians, non-Christians equally. Whatever your field is, wherever you come from, whatever your background is, that's what you want. You want to network. I would stay away from a leader who doesn't want to cooperate with anybody, with other leaders. Because why would you not want to? Is it pride? Are you insecure in yourself? Then we have a problem. Or you think you know everything already. Then we have a big problem.
Yeah.
If you believe that you know You have everything already all by yourself and you don't need anybody else. Yeah, and that doesn't inspire confidence, because you are definitely walking in a delusion is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you think that you have it all already. Number 10, reflect and adjust. Reflect and adjust. I'm going
Yes.
to list, by the way, I think, so you can have the list in the club. Okay, reflect and adjust. What do I mean by this? We kind of mentioned it. You want to listen to your followers' feedbacks, like honest feedbacks. If everybody always says, yes, everything is good, everything's perfect, you have never learned anything. And number 2, is definitely not true. They definitely don't mean it. They're just too afraid to tell you that something is wrong or maybe some adjustment is needed.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? So you have to be able to give them the room to speak freely, respectfully, but freely. Maybe something they misunderstood in your behavior or in your attitude or in your whatever. Maybe it's like a past situation. Oh, you looked at me, but you didn't say hi. I didn't even see you. I was somewhere else. You see, so in that, it's just a very simple example. It can happen to anyone. Or if it's a big crowd and I didn't see you, right? Have my glasses on. How about I didn't have my glasses on? I didn't see you. I didn't have my glasses on. So the person, he walks around for years thinking that you are, I don't know, you don't like him, you don't like her, and that's why it's better to keep an open line of communication. I'm just looking at the things that you wrote. It's best if you don't write me anything, because then I will have to slow down.
Yeah.
But for yourself, good if you can take
It's
notes.
for myself so that I can
Good
follow
for you.
you and
Nepotism. Right. So where were we? Yes. Keep an open line of communication between you and your followers. It inspires confidence. It shows that you're confident it inspires confidence in the follower to know that anytime he or she has a problem, they can come to you. Now, having said that, there are always some Looney Tunes who will always use this and abuse this access.
Yeah, of course, yes.
And they would say some nonsense. The flower committee, and you don't. I mean, obviously, you want to use wisdom, but we are going to go to the other side of the spectrum now. There are people who just don't give any room for their followers to give any kind of feedback.
That's true.
That's not good. That person is either insecure or overly confident as a leader, or just simply don't care.
Yeah.
Simply doesn't care what the followers think or feel or perceive or their whatever, or if they have any problem with him as a leader. That is what I'm saying. So that's what we talk about. Number 10, reflect and adjust.
Yes.
So you want to give people the opportunity, and you want to give them this atmosphere of ease where they can approach you and they can talk to you one-on-one, right? You reflect on what they say and you make the adjustment if necessary.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nonsense, sometimes it's their perception, sometimes they're trying to project something that they have done or they would do, or they perceive that you may have said or done or whatever, or maybe your motivation was not right. That's the other thing. Sometimes, obviously, followers of any kind are not all on the same level of maturity. We understand that, right? So some people are here, some people are here.
Yeah.
And sometimes what happens is, just like with children, those who are not on the same level of maturity as everybody else, they kind of require more attention.
Yeah.
Right? So keeping that in mind, that not every one of your followers are on the same level, you want to make necessary adjustments to them. there's no point for someone who is on a 2-year-old level and saying something that the person will absolutely not understand.
Yeah.
So adjust your, now we're talking about the one-on-one time, adjust your one-on-one time and reflect and feedback and all that to the level of that person.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, it's kind of a technicality, but I think it's important to mention. Some people come from, everybody comes from different backgrounds. Some people come from a more more difficult background than others.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for them, maybe you don't greeting them means way more in terms of hurt than to others.
Yes.
I can just, glide over it because, it's fine. It's just, the person, maybe he didn't see me, maybe he didn't. But for some people, because of past hurts, because of where they're coming from, maybe it's a lot more.
Yeah, true.
It's a lot deeper.
Yeah.
So as a leader, you want to adjust that situation. And always start this conversation by saying, I know it is very hard for you to understand, or like, I know that you came from a background where this is no communication meant that you're not important. This situation that you just referred to, that's not what it means. It just means I'm busy. It means that I'm traveling. It means that my telephone was unplugged or whatever.
Yeah.
Makes sense? So,
Yeah.
I just want that I do mention that because that can be also something that you will run into if you haven't already. So we were talking about confidence, gratitude, discipline, leadership, enjoyment. And all this forms a magnetic personality that is easily followable, automatically followable. And we also mentioned the 10 habits of highly effective leaders. Number 1 was they maintain eye contact. Number 2, they speak with a steady, calm voice. Number 3, they don't need they don't feel the need to brag. Number 4, they listen more than they speak. Number 5, they aren't afraid to say, I don't know. Number 6, they don't need validation from total strangers or from others, anybody. They don't feel validation from anyone, really. That would be ideal. Number 7, they embrace challenges and failures. They don't act like they are completely finished work and superheroes. Number 8, practice active listening. Number 9, they network strategically. Now, let's get back to this for a little bit. Strategically. First, we emphasize the network. Second, we have to emphasize strategically. Don't network just to network. There are so many. Don't network just to network.
No.
Okay? Yeah. Don't go to every social tea or whatever just to be there, just to show your face. Go to the ones that are strategic to your business, your line of work, your leadership skills, whatever you're involved with strategically. That will save you a lot of time and a lot of heartache. Yes. Because when you go to network, just to network, you will bump into all kinds of idiots you don't want to have anything to do with because they are going to waste your time.
Yes.
Which kind of brings us to 9.1. People, maybe this should be the first one I mentioned. Effective people, effective leaders know how to manage their time. They know how to prioritize. Okay, so put it there in one of these, points. Time management, it has to do with discipline, really. Because if you, for instance, if you just say, what about gym? Well, I don't have time for gym. That just means that gym is not priority. Right? I don't have time to go to a meeting. That just means that that meeting is not priority for you.
Yeah.
So you cannot manage your time without having a priority list. So as a leader, you must have a priority list. And then, of course, you will live with intention, not accidentally. And then you will strategically manage your networks because you know exactly who you have time for and what you have time for. As opposed to those who just show up on every meeting, on every network, on every conference. just to be there, just to show their faces, just to show that they're important. Well, guess what? If you are everywhere, people are getting used to you, they get used to your face, and they don't think you're important. Makes sense? As opposed to show up strategically to certain meetings, to certain places, then they will value you more because they don't see you often. And they will also understand that you value your time enough not to show up everywhere. So strategic is a very important word here. Network strategically. Number 10, reflect and adjust.
Yes.
Give people a place and a safe room and a safe environment and a safe atmosphere to give you feedbacks on yourself and on your leadership. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to share today. Any questions, comments?
Thank you so much. This is really
My
good
pleasure.
to have all these things in a good line. Thank you. Yes.
Communication.
Yes.
Yes.
You showed that.
That's the way my mind works. So I just find it very easy. It's just easier for me to do the pointers, and of course it's easier to the followers as well to write it down one by one.
Yes, very good. Yeah.
Okay, then nobody knows where I'm at, but yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for this beautiful information and valuable information. And I have to reread my notes, and I think I have to watch again.
Question, or you want to add something to it from your own experience?
Well, you said leaders are born. I think leaders can also develop themselves, right?
I think every one of us are born with this, with the gifts that we need in order to fulfill our lives, our life purpose. So not everybody is a leader. Not everybody is born as a leader.
No, that's what you said, but
so don't have the desire to. I know people who were not born leaders.
Yeah.
And
But
someone has to follow, you know.
But can they still develop leadership?
No, I don't think so. Because they will never feel, they can learn all this point by point that I just showed you, but they will never feel comfortable in this. Understand? You will only feel comfortable where God placed you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the question, because that's the thing.
That's the question. Did God place you in a leadership position, or did your pastor place you in a leadership position?
That's also important.
Because I was during your beautiful exhortation, if I say that only just way, in your beautiful exhortation of the 10 points, I'm very serious in what you have to say this evening, and it's very verseful too. But I was thinking during these lessons, God-pointed leaders or authority-pointed leaders, and I was thinking about David. He wasn't at the table. 10 sons were at the table, but not David. And the prophet asked, "Are this all your sons?" Because he want to make one of him a king. So and he came from another position, David, but he was a leader in what he was doing there as sheep. Shepherd. Yes, I couldn't.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is that that's slightly different, because he was meant to be a king. We're talking about leaders.
Yes, right. Yes, you're right.
Story. but
Yes.
he was already a leader,
He was
even if
already a
nobody
leader.
saw it.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
God made him, God made him, God put that gift into him because he knew, God
Yes.
knew what he wants
Yeah.
him to do. So equally, everybody is made for a certain thing or a certain calling, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am not saying that that usually housewives are not meant to be leaders, but you are leader of your family above your children, definitely. You know, your husband is your leader, so that's so you are probably leader somewhere to some extent and on some level. But we're
Yeah.
talking about leaders. We're
Yeah.
talking about leaders now, so you understand they are.
I understand. Yeah, of
So
course.
in that sense, I don't believe that everybody was born a leader.
No. No. So what this evening makes for me that I'm will sharpening and polishing how to be a good leader. So it's really this is very helpful for me because it's always good to to develop your skills,
Yes.
to polish your skills and to polish. So this is for me a very worthwhile
See,
evening.
that's a good thing that you mentioned, and I want to uh, touch on that. That the fact that you find it useful shows that you are a leader.
Yeah.
Not that I don't know, but I'm just saying that people who's this who would watch this later on, if it is not for them, they will not find it appealing. They will not
True.
find, you
Mhm.
understand? Only those whose it's almost like a language they don't speak. But if your
Yeah.
ear is already tuned into this language, then you will find it
Yes.
useful. You will find useful. You will find appealing. You will find the nuggets in it that you can use in your own personal life
Yeah.
and whatever else you're doing. And those who it is not for, not every message is for everyone. Those will just scroll by because they will
Yeah.
just, you know.
Yeah, because you recognize the things in your daily life.
Yeah, you are naturally attracted to something
Yes.
that's in you. So if leadership is in you, you will find yourself, even if no one tells you, you will find yourself trying to sharpen your gifts, sharpen your
Yes.
skill, and find these
Definitely.
leadership materials that will help you develop your
Yeah.
skills.
So in that aspect, it really helped me.
Good. I'm happy to hear.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Although I'm still learning
Oh, we are.
things.
We are.
Yes.
So anything else? Anything you want to add or question?
I think you were very clear, actually.
Good.
Yeah,
Then at least
it was
I
very
can check
clear.
more. Clear communication is working.
Yeah, you are a very good
And
communicator.
imagine now we have no problem with the internet. I don't know.
One question. Did you
Yeah.
mention the word salad?
Word salad. What does that mean?
Yeah, I ask you because you.
Word, word salad is Kamala Harris in one
Yeah,
in one.
Yeah, yes,
That's what she
it's
does.
yeah,
Word salad means absolute words, just words means
yeah, and then put it together in a bowl.
it's just words.
yeah.
Yeah,
None of
okay.
them answer to any
Yeah.
questions. None of them mean anything, and together they have nothing to do with each
Yeah,
other. Word salad. What did she say? One of the ways you can
I
tell.
didn't know the word. I just I wrote it down. I wanted to be sure that I
That's
understood
word
it.
salad.
Word salad.
One of the ways, and I'm not picking on her, although she's quite hateful, but she's dumb, she's stupid as a cabbage. I mean, she's dumb, stupid, idiot, everything you can imagine. But anyway, but she's an excellent example of what not to do. So one of the ways you can see if somebody has any substance in what they're saying, regardless of whether they're Christians or not. Let's say a question is posed to someone. It doesn't matter what position is. A very pointed, very direct question. And the person goes around the block and word salad here and there, and then talks about something else. Okay, for 2 minutes. 2 minutes is a long time. Can you summarize in one sentence what the person said?
No.
You can't.
No.
Nothing this idiot ever says you can summarize in one sentence. Nothing.
No.
I mean, nothing.
That's right.
She doesn't say anything.
No.
That's her. That either she's even so stupid to understand how stupid she is. I think that would be my guess. Or because she's trying to go around the fact that if I talk too much, maybe the other person won't recognize how stupid I am. I don't know. I don't know which. But she's an excellent example of what absolutely not to do. And again, what I'm saying, if you hear someone's sort of like responding or sort of seemingly responding to a question, can you summarize in one sentence what the person said? Because if you can't, then the person said nothing.
Yeah,
and that's a good test. That's a good test.
Yes.
Also yourself, if you give an answer, and also from the person that you are asking the question from.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And we touched on that because we said you have to be clear and you have to be precise and straight and to the point. Don't use stupid words like she does. Don't one will suffice. Don't be so lengthy when you give an instruction because the instruction gets lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems that the longer you talk as a leader, now I'm not talking about when you have a whole, when you have a whole teaching session for 2 hours and you have to talk and you have points.
Okay.
I'm talking. So handle it in a right setting. But when you are asked a question or when you are giving an instruction, make sure that you are straight and to the point, and the less words you use, the better. If people don't understand, they will ask you for clarification anyway. There's no need to go into a 5-minute discussion when there's one sentence that you could be saying and that everybody would understand. As a leader, I think it's an absolute must. And you find it very hard to keep your attention as a follower on someone who seems to be using a lot of words and not to the point.
Especially in a position so high as the president of the United States.
Yeah, any kind of leadership. I mean, I don't take her seriously, so it's not even worth. But I'm just saying that as a leader, you want to stay away from that as far as possible, especially if you have a microphone into your face and a lot of cameras.
Yeah.
It's just you talking to someone, but it's you talking to everyone, and it's recorded forever. You know what I'm saying? So these things you definitely want to be a precise person is easy to follow. Someone who's all over the place, word salad, no leadership. You don't know
I
what
love
to.
the words.
I like the words.
Oh,
Word
I
salad.
love the word
If
salad.
you give points, that's easy.
Yeah.
Can you clarify point number 3? Sure.
Yeah.
And clarify point number 3. But if you just, can you repeat this whole 5 minutes that nobody can repeat the whole 5 minutes that you just said.
No.
That's why as a leader, also in terms of teaching, in my opinion, it's better to use points, but that's just me. But
I like points, really. I do.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're also you're a teacher, right?
Yes.
I'm not a teacher myself by profession, but I come from a long line of teachers.
Yeah.
So it's in my genes.
I know.
Genetic memory to have the.
Yes.
It's just think it's the way I take notes, and it's easy to teach this way.
Me too. Yes.
I personally find it easier to listen to someone who uses points, because then I can just go back to my notes and, I need a clarification on it. But if I need a clarification on the last 2 hours, nobody can give you a clarification on the last 2 hours, because it's just too much. It's just.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So again, I just want to emphasize and stress the importance of clear and precise communication as a leader, especially, but always. even to a child, you want to give a short instruction. Oh yes, but one of the things, we have a dog now, not I, but my sister and the children. And I always tell, even though I never had a dog in my life, I had cats. Not much difference, I must say. In terms of how you want to treat them, it's not much difference. You have to train and you have to teach them. Obviously,
Yes.
cats obedience because they don't thrive on pleasing man. Dogs do. Dogs want to please. Therefore, they are following your
No
instructions.
cats.
Cats not.
But at the same time, you want to make sure that your communication to your dog, whatever language you use, is precise
Yeah.
and short.
Yeah. Yes.
Short.
Sure. So this is what happened. It's a rescue dog, so we don't know what the previous life of that dog was, but it's a beautiful Labrador, very beautiful, very, very nice, beautiful with the children, loves us, wonderful. But he obviously has trouble following instructions, especially if the instruction is long. So I kept telling, especially to the youngest daughter of my sister, you have to give a precise instruction, a short one. Don't explain whole life because they look like and they look like they're he doesn't understand, walk, sit, no, yes, follow these things. That's as short as they understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can talk to them later on. They will be very happy because they love hearing your voice and they understand that you are, talking to them, holding their head and talking to them, and they wonderful. Because they want attention, much like children that way. But you give an instruction, that instruction has to be straight and to the point and short.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they won't follow it because they don't understand what you're saying. They lost.
Yeah.
Right.
Watch, and it's not even my dog. The dog followed my instructions just like
Yeah.
that. Never followed her. It's her dog. I said, you know what? It's not that the dog loves me better or more than he loves you. It's that the dog understands what I'm saying and doesn't understand what you're saying. He's desperately trying to follow your instructions, but you're talking all over the place. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand the instruction.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm not equating the followers with dogs.
No. No, I understand clear.
Just wanted to clarify in case people are going to write me with all kinds of, oh my goodness, I feel so horrible.
Yeah.
The clearer you want to be, the shorter you have to be. I find that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also with small children, it's the same.
Indeed, especially if they don't yet speak. But even when they do speak, you have to remind them, I told you not to go to that party.
Oh yeah.
Then they understand. Well, you guys obviously know that. So, but anyway.
Especially now when they have to wear a jacket and they were used to not wearing a jacket, then you have to really instruct them very good.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So this was our time, and thank you for joining us from around the world. And I know you are enjoying it. And write us where you are watching from and all. And we would love to greet you also next time. So we're probably going to see you next Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah.
You have a
Thank
beautiful week.